What's up guys, it's Charles here with Rocket Puncher. I'm going to do a very quick review of this Cloud Shockwave. Transformers fans may immediately recognize this as a Whirl repaint, which is what it is. It's literally just a different color Whirl. And just for comparison, I do have Whirl over here, so we can set them off to the side so you can see that they are the same exact figure. And we'll turn them around so you can see how exact they are. Really the only difference is, again, is just the color. Even the head sculpt is exactly the same, which makes sense since it does have the single eye there. But at least it does remain faithful to Shockwave. You got the nice purple color, you have the single yellow eye, and you have the clear pink hands here, which are not actually hands but just little claspy things here. Now one thing I do hope is that the camera is capturing the color correctly. On my viewfinder it looks a little on the blue side. As a matter of fact, I see different shades of purple. But with your own bare eyes, it's all just one shade of purple. So most people are either going to love or hate this figure. I actually really like it. It's not your typical Shockwave figure. He's been known to be other forms of things like tanks and whatnot. And this is actually a helicopter version of Shockwave. Now sadly I don't have the G1 to compare it to, but I do have the Fans Toys Quakewave. And then I do have the Beast Hunters Shockwave, which is the Takara version. Now I do have to admit I wasn't a big fan of Whirl, but for some reason this just completely works for me. And it might be just the fact that I'd love to see a purple Decepticon. And like most other Takara Tampo printing, they've done an excellent job on the two Decepticon logos right here. These are sharp and very well done. Now as far as paint apps go, you don't find any big areas of paint. The only areas of paint aside from the regular plastic purple are these darker bits like you see in the wrists here, around the cockpit frame, and around the shoulders here. It's a dark purple. Now even though Whirl has his thighs painted silver, the silver on this is actually a very nice silver compared to the Whirl. It seems to contrast a little bit more in the details. And that same silver also carries on to the side of the leg here. And the feet are not painted, they're just molded in gray plastic. Now as far as articulation, it's got the identical articulation to Whirl. Start off with the head here, it's got a nice little ball joint there. You get the shoulders, which should be properly pulled out and ball jointed right there. The socket pops in. So if these arms are not extended, you may find a lot of floppiness in the arms. But as you can see, they hold very well. As a matter of fact, they're very stiff on this example. You can actually hold the figure. You have also the inner joint right here, that ball part. Right? So it's 2 points of articulation in the shoulder. You get the bicep swivel. You get the actual bicep, which is double jointed type. You don't get a waist, unfortunately. You do get these little clamping type hands or fingers, whatever you want to call them. They're just a clamp style and they're geared, so if you move one side, the other one moves. There's no waist due to the design. You do get the legs, obviously, the thigh swivel. The knees, they're the chicken leg type of robots, which I'm not really into. I would have to say this is my favorite chicken leg robot, but I'm not really into them. The knees move forward. Now a lot of people, or some people, I don't want to say a lot, but some people end up doing this, make this the foot, and then they crouch it down, but I think it looks a little strange, but it does keep the nice side out on the thigh, because if you notice, this way shows the holes, and this is really the best way to stand them, so it's not actually too bad. And then the feet don't actually move. Now just like Whirl, he is able to pull off a gearwalk mode. If you're not sure what a gearwalk mode is, search Macross Valkyries, but I'm pretty sure most of you know what I'm talking about. It's not till you get to the back where it looks kind of iffy, but I think, you know, pretty much every angle it does pull it off pretty well. Now here is Shockwave in his alternate mode, which is a nice helicopter. I usually don't display any figures in their alternate mode, but this might change my mind. I mean, I've had Whirl for a while, but there's something about Whirl just didn't catch my attention, but this really hits all the right buttons. I mean, you got the excellent Decepticon colors, you got the clear cockpit here. You'll see it's got the clear purplish plastic. It's also got these weapons here, which you can attach to these pegs. Now, a word of warning, when you attach these pegs to any part of the figure, you will get stress marks on the little fingers, right where they kind of curl. However, the good news is if you do decide to use them, you can get rid of these stress marks by just placing the parts in boiling water. Just want to be careful, don't burn yourself, don't leave the parts in too long because they got too soft. Just enough to make the stress marks disappear. So it's not a big deal after all. So I'll go ahead and attach the weapons. You just pretty much attach them anywhere you want, but this is how the pictures are. This one goes on the side over here using this. Again, it really, however you want to do it, it's not a big deal. This one will clip to the top here, and then attach that to the side, just like that. And there you go. And there's Shockwave with his clear purple or pink weapons. Not a big fan of keeping weapons on alternate modes, especially weapons that just kind of throw the whole look off, but these actually don't look too bad because of the plastics they use, I guess. But again, you are talking about having pink guns. I wanted to show you his third and final mode, which is actually cannon mode, which is really cool the way it worked it out. It's got the actual cannon over here, which would be the engine exhaust port, whatever, from the helicopter, and they've made that into an actual cannon piece. And I mean, it does a good job of looking like a cannon. It's a little strange looking, but it works. You can also go ahead and attach everything else on there. Just give it a little extra firepower. This mode allows Megatron to use Shockwave as a weapon. I wanted to get into robot mode just to show you a couple of things before we wrap this up. But you can actually attach the weapons to the landing bars here, which are painted silver. So attaching them after a while might end up wearing off the silver. I'm not even going to bother trying to put that on there. But there is one thing I wanted to show you. If you go ahead and fold these back, you can actually attach this here, which definitely gives it that whole Shockwave vibe. You got the hands or claws on one side, and then you got the weapon on the other. So it's about time to wrap it up. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And until next time, bye-bye.